Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Under Construction. This is episode 10, and I am your host, Ellis, otherwise known as Train Man. Of course, this is a little bit behind, but the good news is I've made it out of finals. And that is exceptionally good news because it means I'll have to worry about things that aren't finals. Or just schoolwork in general for a little bit of time. Okay, so we have a few things that we need to work on this week, of course. Three things laid out. One is still this area, although, like I've talked about, this is going to be taken care of outside. This actually should be finished by us. This needs to be adjusted. This can be finished, I think, and this area as well. So that area should be wrapped up, everything except for trees. This block is next on the roster. Although I do want to work on that first. And then the third and final thing for today is Capitol Hill. Now that's actually something I want to get to, because that's sort of... What's that? That sort of bookends the town, as it were. Sorry, I'm home. Things are a little bit different. The acoustics might be different as well. That might be something you can pay attention to, something you might hear. So, anyways, let's get started. You know what? I want to work on Capitol Hill. So, first things first, I want to flatten this. I also want to talk about, well, I had a lineup of topics in my head of things I wanted to talk about, things I wanted to say, but that isn't really panning out because my mind is kind of blank. It is 1 in the morning, and oh, you know what? I'm just ruining Smith Hill. I should be using the plateau tool. So yeah, that's better. That is a lot better. So we'll sort of lay this thing down in a flattish area. I mean, one of the things I did today, I cracked open Halo 5 for the first time in a while. For those of you that, follow the Halo franchise or not, or whatever, all things considered, campaign was kind of meh. But that's forgiven by the fact that it has phenomenal multiplayer, and has continued to have phenomenal multiplayer, to the point where it's, like, a cut above anything we've had recently, in terms of Halo. Obviously Forge just gets better and better, and Halo 5 is absolutely no exception to that. The stuff you can do there is unbelievable, although I haven't experienced it firsthand. It's just the things I've seen that are completely astounding to me. Then the other thing... Yeah, we're gonna have to just put a big railroad crossing here. Unless we just want to dead-end this road. Which I guess we could get away with. But no, it makes sense to continue this to here. Yeah, so I'm allowed to build up to here. So I can put the bridge over for this and for the highway as well. Anyways. I did go on to multiplayer, and I dicked around a little bit, and by dicked around I mean I played a round of Griffball in which we got slaughtered. Played a second round of Griffball in which I actually scored the winning goal, and that was awesome. And that was slightly better than the previous one in which we got slaughtered, of course. Played a round of BTB in which we got annihilated. Because I am not any good at Halo 5. I am... It is all worn off. Like, I used to be okay. I used to be decent. And also, we're talking about first-person shooters again. Wow, why is that the thing that I go to on this show? No, well, not the worst thing to be talking about. But anyways, so I was gonna try to fake a segue into something that would have been, not something good to talk about. I don't know. Anyways, it would have been a not so funny joke. But I digress. The gameplay is fantastic. The multiplayer, the actual aspects of it are super, super tight and super well done. Lobbies have gotten a lot of work, like an incredible amount of work since I last played. So there's almost nothing to complain about in terms of what you get. If you're... I mean, as far as everything goes, it's not too stand out in terms of a first-person shooter, but it's still excessively, excessively good, I was going to say. It's really good. Let's see. Unfortunately, of course, it's an exclusive, so it's not like everybody can jump on that bandwagon. And I don't think we've heard too many murmurs about the next one in the franchise, but needless to say, I think they're learning a lot. 343, after coming in after Bungie, was really in for a crash course in how to make games right, and they had a couple of pretty significant flubs. I will be on the defense for them a little bit. Say, their first game was Halo 4, didn't go over so well, but they were trying. And then the second game, which wasn't even theirs technically, was the Master Chief Collection, and that had some major technical issues. Which I did play a little bit of that as well. They seem to have gotten better, but the wait times for games are a little bit long. What's the other thing? And then they had Halo 5, which the story was lackluster. Halo 4 and 5 had fairly lackluster stories. It's like they wanted to go one way with it, but they sort of held off, reverse direction, changed things, blah blah blah. I don't know, it's not very cohesive. It's coherent but not cohesive, and it involves a lot of the extended universe, which, if you don't know it, you're left kind of lost. Which, all things considered, when a game, it's a new saga, and when a game starts a new section, a lot of times stuff is shrouded in mystery, confusing, you don't know what's going on. Obviously, when you stepped into Halo 1 the first time, you didn't really know who the Covenant was, you just knew they were chasing you and they were aliens. But the fact of the matter is, they could have done a better job in the moment of explaining what the hell was going on. I'm not sure if I think I read the books afterwards, so it made sense later, although I still get kind of lost in those books. And not in the lost in a book good way, but in the, wow, I have no idea what's going on, sort of lost. Let me move this over a little bit. Actually, I don't want to do that. I don't want to disturb what's going on over there. Alright, so back to this. This is technically part of Capitol Hill, for anybody complaining I'm not working on what I said I would work on. I can work on whatever I damn well please. Let's put some crossing boards over this. Where's crossing boards? Right there. These are crossing boards. These are the best kind. And the best thing about them is they're JR objects, and they are on the DLS. Of course, at the hour we're going to take a break and review our comments, although there are only a couple, and one of them was answered already. And one of them is just a response to something I said. The other one I can actually talk about for a little bit, so there's that. Okay, so there's that crossing there. This road sort of should follow along the tracks at a distance. I'm not sure how excessive this gradient is. Maybe we should have like a caution thing there. This is going to be just, built up, like they just piled dirt under this to get it up to this level. And then the road here, cut this back. Yeah, we're going to drop this down to sort of pre-Gilson Eastern heights. Carefully, though. Okay, so we've got to sort of parallel the track, but not really. We've got to go up here, and then we're going to cross here, although we don't have a lot of very good road bridges. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I think you guys have seen me in this predicament before, where we just didn't have a decent bridge to put down. Although that was for the island thing, which that's sort of a league of its own. Okay, so that sort of can look like that. And there's a few, now to change the subject again. Well, actually, to finish off what I was thinking about Halo, it's, it's such a tight shooter, and I feel like Battlefield is kind of the opposite. Tight is generally used in a good way to say that the controls are very snappy and everything, everything seems to have the proper reaction to it, whether that be in gameplay or just with the weaponry. But I don't mean it like that. I don't mean tight like right. I mean tight like just snappy and hair trigger and split second, which in a way it's really not, because Halo has never really been super fast paced. You can, it takes a while to crank enough shots into somebody to actually do them in. But I need to find a better place to put this. Why do we have a giant soccer field, anyways? But on the other hand, or rather, the thing that it comes down to is the fact that it's just so. Again, it's very precision. That's the word I'm looking for. It is very precision, and that is a really good thing. For just what it is, and for, I suppose, what people are looking for, where, it's snappy. It's incredibly snappy. I don't really know how else to describe it. But the thing I'm trying to get to is the fact that, now I've become accustomed to a game with a lot more leeway, which is Battlefield. It's Battlefield in all, all things considered, has always been a very tight shooter. There's nothing sort of, what's the word? There's nothing sort of lackadaisical about the game design of a Battlefield game. At the same time, though, Battlefield has always been kind of, loose. Whoops. I won't say it's favored the spray and pray, because it really hasn't. It's not Call of Duty. But it's the kind where, you're a fleshy human running around and not a super soldier. And so you have things like bullet spread, and you have, Halo 5 has these things now, but the original Halos did not. The original Halos did not really have bullet spread, like, bloom. That's what I'm looking for. And things of that nature. It was just, shoot. And if you aim right, you get them. Now, for the most part, Battlefield is aim right and you get them, but there's so much, it always feels like, there's so much more of a degree of chance in a Battlefield game than there is in a Halo game. Whether you like that is up to you. But what it does is, for Halo, it creates a very, very high skill ceiling. So you can get really, really good at those games, to the point where you will just shred. And that's totally what happened to me. The people, I think, that are still around, that are still playing, are orders of magnitude better than I am. So that's what happens to me. I get dead. I get dead real fast. because I can't compete anymore. But go into Battlefield and you can, you can mop up kills, you can run into people, one-shot people. That's something you don't do in Halo. You don't one-shot people unless you've got a power weapon. You don't get a power weapon unless you know the maps. It's totally beyond, beyond what Battlefield does, because, and I don't mean that in a good way or a bad way, but Battlefield, it's so much less about knowing your environment, or it's so much less about knowing the maps, and more about just being aware of your immediate environment. Now, Halo's got that as well, but BF1 at least there's virtually no, I mean, there is the radar, but you don't typically see enemies on it. So, it's easy enough to sort of dismiss it, and instead just look at what you've got going on around yourself. I wanted to get some administrative buildings, but I was going to say earlier that anything that I can fit over here, I definitely should, because this area needs to be populated, and then it needs to be treed up, taken care of, and left. Like, that's it. Yeah, sure, let's put this across from here. It says used cars. So we'll have a lot over here, maybe. These are good, though, these downtown buildings. Again, it doesn't really fit down there because things are all packed together, but here it's like, oh, we anticipated some, we anticipated density to increase in this area of town, and it just didn't happen. It was zoned high, but it didn't happen. Downtown junction box. That sounds like it's a bad idea. Yard limit sign. Can't use it. Oh well. Drive garden. Oh, we've got gardens. Drive, like you drive through? Oh, it's a driveway garden thing. Drugstore. That looks like the Old West. Dry kiln. Maybe I'd slam this in the industrial district, but for now I'm going to leave it as is. Although maybe I'll put this in one of my pick lists. Pick list. Change pick list. Mills. Dry kiln. Like affordable housing. Huh, that's right. Oh, these are English things. Atherstone Station building. Oh, that's a cool station. Billboard. Bank of Scotland. Cox. ... Yeah, so I think, I could honestly leave this as is and just cut back the trees really far. Like cut them back to here and just fill it up with grass and dirt. I could definitely get away with that. This honestly should be grass and dirt. This area right here is going to be mostly grass with some trees and some walking paths. In fact, I need to go get paths and put them there. But that is probably going to be it for that area. Like, I just wanted to put those two buildings in, unless I find something else that really stands out at me. Or that really jumps out at me. I'm not sure I'm going to bother. Okay, next is to actually build the bridges across this, then. And that'll kind of be our last thing. These are just going to loop around like that, and then this one's probably going to dead end back here at the field. Where's the other? Oh, okay, so yeah, this is the coast road. We actually have to build that. But let me grab the bridge. The yarn bridge. Now, these, again, they don't make me very happy because there aren't, like, these are basically the only ones. They are the only ones. The yarn bridges leave nothing to the... They're boring, is what I'm trying to say. They're incredibly boring. This one, and there. Connect. Alright. So we do have to actually cross this, though, which means throwing in a couple of spline points. That should add... No? Doesn't add pillars? That's not good. I need to add pillars. I need pillars. Oh, screw it. You know what? We'll just have to make the bridge short. Longer than this, though. Actually have it clear the river. That's a good one. Connect this. Grab... Hey, give me that. Okay, apparently it doesn't want to grab that. We'll just replace it. Attach this to that. There. We're gonna fill this in. Wait, where's... come on. Work with me here. We're almost done with the Capitol Hill section anyways. Again, so much of it is scenery. So much of it is trees and stuff that I should probably work on off camera. Because I don't want the game to crash again and again and again while I'm on camera. Also, I should probably lower this. Hold on. Because this hump is really awkward. There we go. There we go. Alright, so now we'll finish crossing this and leave it at that. And this is at, what is the vertex height? 10.45. We'll just do that. Oh, let me straighten it out a little bit more. There we go. How to make a highway. Lots of straight lines, cuts, embankments, gentle curves. How to, but still make it more curves attached to straights rather than straights attached to curves. Or curves with straights in between versus straights with curves in between. How to build a road. Same sort of thing, except you don't care too much about the straights. Alright, so what else? I do have to build the bridge for this as well, but I don't really know what to do for this. Is there a, this is a different one. I wonder if, like, Ben Dorsey made bridges for this. If you know a good bridge that'll fit there, tell me. I'm going to leave it as is for now. This is awkward. This is awkward. I'm not really sure if I like it. I'll leave that. And that sucks. That little weird gap there. But it does mean cars are taking the turn. Because they feel like that's straight. And I'm not sure if that's good or bad. Okay, let me close the pick list before TBA gets angry at me. Alright, so after like 5 minutes up here, we do need a parking lot. So let me grab like this. It won't be too flashy, but it'll just be this gravel lot here. Obviously, they've had a parking lot for a while, but it's nothing to write home about. And we'll put some gravel in front of both these buildings anyways. We've got to put dirt around them. Grab my dirt texture. Oh, it's right there. Handy. Maybe we will add something that is not dirt around the back here, but dirt is a really nice place to start. You always start in the dirt. We all started down here on the dirt. We worked our way up. And now I've got dirt on everyone. More ways than one. So don't cross me. Or your clothes will be irreparably stained. Trust me, your mom will have a fit. Alright. Okay, we need our cut texture. There. Although this is the area where I could add rocks. I need to think about that. I don't know where the speed rocks are. I don't know what they're called. Somebody please inform me of what the speed rocks are called. And I will get to using them. But until then, I'm just going to do this. And maybe I'll come back to this later. And rock it up. Rock it out. So this is, again, technically part of Capitol Hill. It's more about getting the texturing going in this direction. Like the thing I said the other day about when I have a bunch of sections that are textured or scenic or whatever, and they're separate from one another, I then have a much stronger urge to actually connect them. But I need to actually make those sections first, and sometimes that's a little difficult. It's difficult to get the ball rolling. So, working on the Capitol Hill area, that's good, it's important. But, yeah. And we will have extra time in this one to work on stuff, because like I said, I did check the comments in the last episode, and nothing is really groundbreaking there. So, oh well. I'm not going to be taking detours to work on things. I do get to show something off that I have, but... Oh, I get to show off a couple things that I have. Clever me, using segues. But, I don't know. Anyways, if you guys want your input into the series, this is the closest thing I do to a Q&A. Like, the zombie train is the zombie train. But the fact of the matter is, I don't really, I take the questions and I just use them as a basis for an episode, because especially a lot of the times when I'm handed, like, oh, this engine, I don't know enough about an individual engine most of the time, I'll go off the Wikipedia page where it is and then just fly, by the seat of my pants to figure out what I should say, and sometimes I get totally off track, go down a totally different line of thinking, don't even talk about the engine, but, it's... The comments in those videos largely give me starting points. I have a series of videos coming up that were based on just one question that Dean gave me a while back. I'm not even sure if it was... It may have just been at random. Like, it wasn't something that was dropped in a video. He just mentioned it, and I was like, oh, you know what? That would make a good 8 episodes. Alright, so... I should put some, like, Jersey barriers at the end of this. Barriers. Jersey barriers. Okay. Not really Capitol Hill right now. I need super green. I need, like, lawn green. Where are you? Yeah, not the dingy green we have elsewhere, the lawn green we have here. Whoops. Yeah. So, and then we'll texture the top of the hill with something else. Like this right here is what I mean. Let me just fix the accidental oversteppage here. Okay, what to do here? I mean, I should get, like, the dingier green from here. Maybe put that on this hill. This is, like, a more natural area. And then this area will probably be woods. Maybe I should put something here, though. Like a maintenance shed or something. Because we accidentally created this, so we might as well live with it. And then maybe like a drainage hole in here. Like, look at this. Look at this awful mess that we have right here. I'm gonna fill this area with weeds. It'll look better when it's got grass on it. That is the thing. I feel like it gets overlooked a lot. Once you get the ground cover, the grass down, things look so much better. You know, when I was originally building, it's like, man, the scenes are, you know, the areas that I'm working on, they're nice, but they're missing something. And then I started working on, I think it must have been after the Chamarlos Vale and Anaconda, because it was when I moved to 12. And I actually started using grass on my builds. But when I was working on the Iron Horseman route, you know, the Iron Horseman route, Lee's line in particular, is pretty simple and pretty simplistic in terms of scenery. But it looks good. And 90% of that is because of the grass. It's just the fact that there is grass there. Because it adds the little something that a lot of times is overlooked when you're building. And it's just the fact that, you know, it's the fact that the earth is full of stuff. It's, you know, there's stuff everywhere. 1953. I'm gonna put some other cars sort of facing other directions so it's not so blatantly obvious that these two are parking buddies. Let's put this somewhere else though. So it's not so blatantly obvious that we laid out all the same thing. Oh, that's an armory. Or that we just dropped two of these strips of cars down and called it a day. There. Looks a little bit better now. Although I should park something up against the side of the building here. Not in the side of the building. Okay. Alright, and then we'll stick another one over here. Yeah, this is going to be interesting because we'll have these cars that are sort of lined up against the side of the building, but not quite. Oops. Turn that around. You sort of have to replicate how humans park. And that's something. That's something else. Everybody had these kind of cars though. They all had such similar body styles. Let's spin this thing around. All the portholes on the Buick there. You'll see those kind of things on Johnson. I should put some crates in this alleyway. Oh well, maybe later. Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill actually should be done with now. So I painted this green. I'll be adding some trees on it. We're getting there. This gray area is slightly less gray. This is going to be trees. This whole area, pretty much. Except for this one strip for the power line. It's all going to be trees. This area right here is going to be, like I said, it's going to be one farm. And then we're going to have some big houses in the woods. The rest of this is kind of done. It really is kind of done. I need to come in here after hours, put some trees down, etc. Speaking of putting trees down, though, let's get some grass down. Right here, right now. Start off our endeavor to do another block of olive. It should be something where we do a block an episode, at least. or else it's going to get way ahead of me. And we're going to be on Olive for the rest of our lives, practically. Just because of the detail here. But the thing is, we won't have to do this again for another while, because even the next town in the list is fairly small. Olive, all things considered, pretty good size now. Alright, so who's going to get what? This guy is going to get a wall. First things first is to divide up these places. Okay. Like this kind of wall. Is there another kind of wall? Nope. I grabbed the road. Fence old brick wall. Was that Central Railroad of New Jersey? CRNJ? I feel like that isn't it. No, it's gotta be something else. Although we should use this. Also, before anybody says it, I know Central Railroad of New Jersey is CNJ. But, yeah, it was too good to pass up. Right there. Alright, so, build this wall this way, and then we'll encompass this nice big area of yard. Oh, come on, game. Come on, game. Whoops, didn't really mean to do that. Oh, it's that one right there. There we go. And then we have that gate, don't we? Do we have that gate? We have a gate. We do have a gate. I've seen houses that have these, elaborate walls that don't quite close in. Where's the gate? I need it. And it's gonna be this one right here. It's a factory gate. I'll actually have to use this for a factory at some point. Because right now it's kind of going to waste. It's just being used for driveways. Driveway. Oh my fud. He parks his car on a driveway. Okay, this guy doesn't need a fence. This guy should have a fence. This guy's just gonna have like a line of bushes and trees between him and his neighbor, which is this guy. Actually, let me get that 3-bar fence for this guy. Nope. Fence. Oh wait, no, this is like if you want to have a fenced-in front yard. Oh, the driveway for this is around the back. There's probably some weird property line thing going on here. I cannot imagine how many times somebody crashed into this fence. We'll put it like that. Okay, fence 3-bar. That's going to be these guys. I'm probably going to supplement it with some greenery. There's going to be a nice big gap between these two driveways. But this is going to extend kind of far back. And it's going to cut across from here to here. And other people are going to have fences that meet it. Like, no, and I don't want barbed wire. I do want chain link fences, though. I don't know, that actually seems way too much like the ghetto. That's way too tall for a chain link fence. Where's the rusty one? Fence corrugated. Oh, somebody's got to have a corrugated one. Maybe not here, though. You know who's going to have the corrugated one? This guy at the swamp. And he's going to run it right alongside this guy's thing. Pass here. And this way. Snap that. This is going to be a neighbor to remember. Legend has it he's green, and he really hates when people come into his swamp. Also, he ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. Couldn't miss out on that one. Oh wait, which side goes out? Okay. Oh, it's just this one that's backwards. It's like, what am I doing wrong? Something looks different. Okay. We've got a little bit of that there. And we do want... I'm not even sure if I'm going to have this guy have a car. He's a freaking hermit. He can't drive a car. What have we got for gates? I know I've tried this before, but... No, not like that. Gate for road, generic. Gate closed. Sure, let's do it like this. That's a little big. It's maybe a little bit bigger than I want. What about the other one? What about this one? Gate A. It's a little overkill. Gate 5 bar. I guess. That actually fits too. HOA's pissed at him too. Anyways. Yeah, so there's gotta be a string of bushes. Where are the bushes? Not these guys. Let's say not the hedgerow, but the other thing. I wonder how much detail we could go in with see, the other day I was thinking about gardens, right? And I think I mentioned in an episode that we haven't put a garden in anybody's yard. How much detail could we really get into with a garden? Like, could we be planting individual flowers? Like, is there a poppy on the DLS that I could, use? Because that'd be insane. That'd be amazing, but it'd be legitimately insane. I'm bad enough. I'm doing terribly with keeping off of detail and just trying to muddle through. I am being just horrifically detail heavy and detail oriented. Whoops. Oh, you know what? We won't even... That will be part of the driveway. We'll just texture that. Alright, there's a driveway. We do have to add driveways to everyone's house first. Because that sort of shapes where the edges of the property lines are going to be. This guy should have a garage. I've been avoiding, I've been putting down a lot of one-car garages and not as many two-car garages just because of the effort it takes to actually put the two-car garage in. Like that with the triple thing. And who needs that much garage anyways? It may be the automobile age, but even still. This area historically doesn't get a lot of snow. Here, it'll match your ugly colored house. basically the worst colors I could think of for a garage. I didn't even, I say that like I made that. I did not make that. But those are horribly ugly colors. Alright, nothing here, so I can just add the second driveway like that. And then third, or, ooh, this is a tricky one. I think I'll just add it here. Because then I can flip this and just, yeah, it's not gonna look good, but it'll do. So this guy's obviously going to have his driveway here. He doesn't have room for it on the other side of his house. These two are going to have parallel driveways, but they're going to be separated. Like so. Okay, this guy is going to have the driveway next to his porch. That makes sense to me. This guy doesn't have one. So now we're getting somewhere. Let's grab one of the more pickety fence types. What are those? The timber fence. And put it around somebody's house. Now this wall in the back, I feel like a lot of people are going to be using this as a connection point for their fences. This is going to attach like that, although this is not his fence. Alright, I should leave this open. This guy is the nice side of every fence facing his backyard. These guys just sort of coordinated, I guess, with their fence placement. Who says neighbors can't coordinate? Anyways. Usually neighbors, but who am I to... I'm not going to follow that convention. Break the cycle. Okay, do we have another kind of fence? We have the chain link fence that I haven't used in a little bit. We also have this, which is great for fencing in a single house that just doesn't care about anybody. Yeah, so we'll just assume that this guy insisted that everybody around him have a fence, and then he put up his own fence. Because he's that guy. Actually, he's an all-star. The low-hanging fruit. Always the low-hanging fruit. Okay, so we're having a little bit of a divide in the back here, but I might just fill it with trees and gunk. And junk. Like, just this spot, too. Nothing else really belongs here. Wait, was that Animus River and being orange? No. What is this? Arizona. I was gonna say, damn, that was topical at one point. Okay, so we need something like, what if I use bush? I am bush, Russell. Yeah, that doesn't really quite work. I think we've done better. Maybe I should just fill the area with bushes. So let's grab that right there. Oh, no, that's a texture. Grab that spline. Okay, so that is what I'm talking about. These bushes are so dense you're not going through them and you can hardly see through them, so that's good. We'll deal with the swamp dweller over there in a minute. As for these guys, I think we're okay with grass. We do need to have the guy in the block that doesn't do his lawn well. It's probably going to be this guy. Oh, we do actually need to attach the driveways. Actually, I'll put it in the back of this. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. I don't want to sneeze. I'm gonna prevent that. Okay. So we need to attach the driveways. That is a piece of cake. It's something we've done 100 times before. Although it is, you know, it's a pain. Okay, it's gonna be on the right. Got it. I actually remembered that. I'm kind of impressed with myself. I'm sure you guys would have been annoyed if I screwed it up anyways. Alright, let's actually add this here. Delete this. And that's going to be a tight squeeze, but what we'll do is we'll just sort of adjust it. And then attach that to there. That's passable. I need to get the kink out. There we go. Car isn't on the driveway, but hey, you know what? Some people don't park their cars in their driveways. Alright, so, I should have followed my own advice. It's going to be on the right. It's going to be on the right. I do at least want to finish the driveways before time's out on this section. So, and then while we're reading the comments, maybe we'll go add cars and stuff to some of the other ones. Or throw some buildings here and there. Go back to working Capitol Hill. It's going to be on the right. On the right. I don't really know what I'm going to do at that time, but I feel like strides have been / are being made. You know, this is the mega project to end all mega projects in some ways, but at the same time, it's not really. It's just a lot of small things that are coming together. It's going to be on the right. There we go. There we go. Right, almost there. We've got to wrap around the other side. I do actually need to straighten this. There. Alright, so we've got one side of the street. Oh, but this guy... Oh, I didn't... Oh, right. His driveway's here. Oh, I didn't actually build him a driveway. I need to put down some asphalt there. On the right. And there. We've got what? 5 more total? We do have to go around the front again. We have to worry about connecting it, or dealing with this right here. And then those two, and then that one's done. So we only have 3 more. But, ooh, this is going to be a bastard. You know what? If I delete that, right? And then I just build this, is it passable? The answer is no, not really. But if I push it this way, it gets better. I gave these guys 2 cars. Hello, bus. Goodbye, bus. It's going to be on the right, so this side. Okay, so now we need to adjust these 1 notch down. That one's fine. As long as you can't see it over the road, it's fine. You know, it's a descent to the driveway. Oop. There. I do need this, because I need to actually build this driveway. And, oh, come on, there. It does the duty of sort of straightening their elevation out as well, which is good. But the issue is going to come when we go to put cars on them and they start sinking through the ground. So that's what's not great. Just, nope, nope, in the middle. Oh, nope. In the middle. There. Middle. There we go. When it's good, you stop. You don't go further to check. It's still good. What are we adjusting? There were about 1,000 things there for me to grab, and I grabbed none of them. Alright, this is already sort of starting to show its colors. I need to darken up the back of these guys' lawns. So where is the... there it is. Sort of... nope. Sort of greener stuff. There we go. It's the alpine grass, right? Alps grass. Close enough. So that should actually go there. I need to put some grass somewhere, though. Don't I? Or something? Something like that? Yeah, this, oh, wait, that's not a spline. This stuff. Wink. I mean, I do, actually, and it has to be here. I should actually change this color from the normal grass color to maybe the Alps grass or something even worse. Just to emphasize how disgusting and muddy this area is. Maybe it's not disgusting. Maybe you like it, but it's not done the way a normal house is done, that's for sure. Let me get some other green. That's something different. Let's drop some weeping willows on it. Tree, weeping willow. Did I end up using these somewhere already? Like over here? I thought I did. And then let's throw a nice, like one of these guys in the background. Or the back here. See how much you can do with so little? And I do want some dirt as a path. So let me grab my dirt. Basically click anywhere in that yard and you're bound to get dirt. I'm not even sure how this guy lives. But hey, he does. Maybe even he's happy. Maybe, we don't know. Alright, so throw some birch trees in this little section here. Because why not? Where else to put birch trees? These guys don't have any trees in their lawn. These guys don't have anything at all, really. I'm gonna throw some grass around the water tank for these folks, so they don't really trim this side of the yard. Or it's these guys, probably. Broadleaf. No. No. Too much. There's good. Let's throw down some, no, let's throw down some pear trees. Okay, never mind, these are dead. I forgot our pear trees are broken. I was going to add, like, something there. Conifer. No, I'll pass. Date palm. No. Date palm? Are these gray? Nope. We do have palm trees, though. Maybe I should put some of these along the beach. Maybe I could get away with that. Eastern red cedar. Yeah, let's throw some cedar trees through here. That's what separates these guys. And we'll probably... Yeah, let's throw some of these... Oh, I almost forgot about these guys. These splines. These just need to make the area... You just need these to make the area look alive. Maybe we should throw down some topiaries as well. That might be nice. Oh, whoops. I crapped the hedgerow spline. Oh, I didn't even use the hedgerow spline, like the actual one. Japanese maple? No. Lemon trees. Dude, you want a lemon tree? Boom, you got a lemon tree. Oh, that's tiny and sad. It'll go in the front lawn then. Oh, you know what? Instead of topiaries, you guys have lemon trees. Why not? I would love a lemon tree in my yard. Are you kidding? Like, that'd be awesome. I love lemons. I should get some lemonade. I'm glad I'm home. That's something I missed. Good old-fashioned New England frozen lemonade. If you don't know what that is, that's a shame. Although you might not live somewhere where it gets that hot, like hot enough to warrant that. Although, nah, there's no such thing, because even I get ice cream in winter. Like, somebody really likes these live oak trees. But I should be focusing more on the singular trees that dot the backyards instead of clusters of one type of tree. This is the kind that these guys pay an inordinate amount of money to have people come and make sure it doesn't fall on the house every storm. And these guys, to go off the birch craze, there is this one big birch tree here. Alright, there we go. We're getting that end of the area done. What about this end? Oh, you know, we should grass up this guy's yard. He seems like the guy who needs it. That's not a grass spline. That is fence. This guy has wild fences growing in his yard. Sure, why not? Maybe it's just his backyard that needs trim. Maybe it's his everything that needs a trim. The two options are either backyard or whole damn thing. I think I'm going to go with whole damn thing. What was that? Never mind. That was a text from a friend of mine. And it was not what I expected because hey, my edge. What? I don't understand. Anyways, I thought she was going to be upset because I forgot to tell her that I got home safe. She was like, make sure you tell me. Yeah, I said, yeah, I'll do that if I remember to. I didn't remember to. I remembered to, like, several hours later while I was, well, busy. And then didn't do anything about that. And then, well, that's sort of how it went. She should go to bed. Although, she's done with finals. Everybody's done with finals. School's over. School's out for summer. Yeah, it's just summer. Nobody was quite quick enough. Nobody in my friend group was quick enough to have graduated already. Thankfully, or else, you know, my friend group being what it is, I would be sad and alone. Okay. I wish I could get, like, a wood pile to stick in the back there. You know what? I had something for things in shade. Is it that texture? Whatever that texture is right there? What is that texture? No, that's not it. That right there. No. There. No. There. There it is! That is a texture I haven't used in a very, very long time. It was supposed to be this area's in shade texture. Like, so grass won't grow here. And I just sort of, it totally slipped my mind. Its very existence. Oh, and also we ran over time. I need to go do the questions thing. That is a fence, once again. I want grass. Give me grass spline. I didn't actually pay attention to what I'm getting before I try to place it down. That would be good. That would be real good. Also, the idea of this area was that grass could not grow there, and now I'm putting grass there. So I don't know what that says about my ideas about grass growing. You know what, though? Let's get... I deleted that by accident. I wanted to grab it instead. I'm not sure if it's my own ineptitude that's causing me to do that a lot lately, or it's just the game not registering mouse clicks. I feel like it just as well could be either. I'm going to finish a backyard real quick, and then I will get to the, oh, this house is backwards. I was like, huh, those guys have a really nice rear entrance. Oh, wait. Okay, so... I want you know what? Let me get one of those merry-go-rounds. Just this. This will be the only thing in the yard. But I do want it to be this. We need to add another playground soon as well. So not that, but like this. If I had like a bonfire pit I could throw down, that'd be in there as well. I want one more tree, like sort of front and center on the road here. I don't know what to use though. Maybe one of these broadleaf trees. Wow, never mind, not one of those. Not that. I should have remembered that the ones towards the bottom there are just tiny. Mountain maple. That is interesting. I know I've used those before, but they're just kind of goofy. Willow tree, how about a red maple? There we go. That's good. On the road. You know what, let's throw some mountain maples in this guy's yard. Like, originally I was going to go with the idea that he didn't want trees in his yard, but I feel like if I just sort of spread them around the edge, it'll be okay. I do need to randomly rotate them though, because these are definitely victims of the sort of copy and paste looking syndrome that affects a lot of these little trees, or a lot of these trees in general. So we'll just say he planted a buttload of these around just the perimeter of his property. And then they put the wall up. Although it does look like the wall was there first. I'd wager the wall was there first. Okay, so that's that. Because he didn't plant any on this side. You know what? Yes, he did. But just at the corners, and then another one which hasn't grown very large, presumably. There. That's grown large enough. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you have it. You've got another block done. Oh, I didn't do the cars and stuff, though. Maybe in the future. Okay, so now to the comments. Not that there were too many. Let me check on what I've got currently. Last year. How do you download? And I guess another person wanted me to help them pirate a game. You know, I'm going to link them to like an eBay listing to it. I'm going to be cheeky about that. I don't like piracy. Anyways, so Logan Thurman, first off, this question was answered by TBA. Or not a question, but the statement. I've got a better roundhouse and turntable you could use. It's the SP 120-foot turntable and SP 9-stall roundhouse from Trains Forge. So, I can only assume that hold on. Not these guys. Okay, I don't remember which one goes with it. Hold on, let me filter. Turntable. I know I haven't. There it is. Southern Pacific 100. I assume you mean this one. That's not a good place to put it. This one. There. And no, maybe. How about roundhouse? And this one. There we go. I should have known it spelled out Southern Pacific. Now, I cannot use these, as TBA said, that's third party. This route, in the end, ideally, will be fully compatible with multiplayer in Dane, and part of that demands that every single asset on the route either be built in, so it comes with the game. For example, this, I believe, I don't remember which one's which, or it's downloadable content. This, I think this one is one of the ones that comes with the game. It's white. So, unfortunately, that means I cannot use anything whatsoever that I have to download via CDP. If it exists as modified in my trains, and that's the only way that it can exist, then it cannot be used. Do keep that in mind when you're suggesting things for me to use. I know a lot of the content, or a lot of the things that you can get, let me undo all that. It was fine as it was. A lot of the things that you can get just, from third-party content, it's really good stuff. I'm aware of that. I've used it far and wide. But the issue is I don't want to be using that stuff for this very important reason. I want to be able to play with my friends on this map. Now, things may change in the future. Right now, Tane has a bug regarding obsolescence of the passenger queued. Passenger queued. That, as it stands, prevents this map from being properly used or properly compatible whatsoever. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be jumping on that just yet, but maybe with some finagling and some re-uploading of some assets, that will be alleviated. So, right, maybe, the idea is I want to get this to be a good multiplayer map. So far, I haven't had too much luck with that kind of stuff. Way back when we were in the planning phases, we wanted the Iron Horseman route to be multiplayer, but that just didn't happen. The kind of objects that we needed to make some scenes look good were not the kind of things that we were going to sub in for the download station. It wouldn't have been worth it in the end to have a map that was built solely that way. For filming a series and, all things considered, I don't consider the Iron Horseman route, as it stands, to be an incredibly good piece of trains railroading. It's very gradient heavy. Everything's sort of jammed more or less close together. The scenery, obviously, because I've never finished it, is spotty. And in some places there's just stuff missing because old versions and stuff like that. Things just didn't quite persevere. So, it's unfortunate that things are the way they are with that map, but it was never meant to be spectacular. It was really just meant to be a set. And this is the thing I always joke on. It just had to be better than the full bucket line. And it was. Although, those of you that know me know that I've never really followed the full Buccaneers. Even though I ended up being more or less the de facto head of the Iron Horseman Chronicles, which was conceived originally as a continuation of the full Buccaneers, or whatever they were really trying to do, the folks in my group. And when I hopped on board, the tune sort of changed a little bit. And things went in a different direction. For a long time, I was joking on it, calling it the Empty Buccaneers, before we gave it the name the Iron Horseman Chronicles. But anyways, the idea was, well, we want something that looks good, and looking back at the full bucket line, it's not really... again, it's MSTS. Not that there's, not that there's too much you could do with that. But there was it left a little bit to be desired in the scenery department. So, anyways, sorry, I got off track. Logan Thurman also says, thanks for answering my question, it explains a lot now. Listen, my pleasure. If you have another question like it, feel free to post it, and I can harp on about it all day and all night. I want what I'm doing to be clear, understandable, all that jazz. And, what am I going to do here? This area is the, should I copy paste or not area. But that's the kind of thing where I'll have to decide while I'm working on stuff otherwise. Crash count's still 17 because I haven't had free time to work on the route. There we go. Kind of like ugly splotches in the landscape there, but hey, that's what it is. Oh, wrong button. Alright, last but not least is Bishkut. Hi. I was wondering if you had a favorite train from Britain. If so, what is it and why? Okay, now here is something I can talk about. One second, I need water. So, favorite train from Britain. Now, I have never been much for the sort of big, famous engines. I'm thinking the Flying Scotsman and the Mallard. Obviously, I have my prejudices against the Mallard for, reasons. I threw some Whomping Willows. Yeah, that's what they are. I threw some willows in there. But anyways, yeah, I have my prejudices against Mallard, if you can really call them that. I don't know. I feel like I respect the A4s, but they don't deserve the speed record. Enough said. So, following up with that, it's not Mallard. Flying Scotsman never really piqued my interest, even though he did come over to, my neck of the woods. I even have part of a book. I even read a book where part of it is centered around his coming to the States, because it's about the railroads of Boston. And that's where he arrived. Definitely not my favorite. So there are two engines in the U.S. that are in the running, or really the one that I can think of, or rather the one that is in the U.S. that really piques my interest is the Dwight D. Eisenhower, which is also, I believe, in A4. That's something I could probably go back and forth on in my head for a while. Still probably not my favorite. If I could use a cop-out, I would say Lynn. If you want to look up the engine Lynn, it's a 2-foot gauge engine built for, I think the replica currently runs on the Welsh Highland Railway, but it was built for the Welsh narrow gauge and was shipped out there and used there. It was a Baldwin-built engine, though. So, again, that's kind of a cop-out. If I wanted to do something in it, it would have to be this kind of odd, I don't really have that much fanaticism with British engines. They never grabbed me as much. I wasn't too aware of them. So it would have to be Thomas the Tank Engine. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, if you guys know of, and this is a weird one, sort of an oddball. I believe it was an 010O. It was a banker with, I think, compound cylinders that worked the Lickey Incline, which was the steepest mainline grade in Britain. I think it still is. I'm not sure if it's still in service. Actually, it has to be, doesn't it? And this was just an odd engine. It was called, I think it was actually called Big Bertha, or something like that. And yeah, no, that's something to write home about. It was a strange engine, and the reason I think about it so much is because it handled the toughest grade in all of Britain, which was like a 2.5% tops, which to the U.S. and U.S. railroads is really nothing. It's not much at all. So they needed this ridiculous piece of machinery for them. That's not what I want. This ridiculous piece of machinery to conquer this hill that in our neck of the woods wouldn't really have been anything at all. But even still, it was this oddity that they created. Aside from that, the 060 that was in Trains 2006, and its name escapes me currently, but that has always had a... I think it must have been the Fowler. It wasn't that? I can't recall. That thing has always held a special place in my heart after just it being basically the first engine I got to drive in a train simulator since MSTS. Or, in a train simulator that wasn't MSTS. But unfortunately, all of my answers there are kind of weak. I just don't know enough about British engines to make a stake here. Now I do think that some of the things that they have done are really cool. They did have the speed record. I'll give them that. I don't think they deserve it really, but they had it. They won it fair and square. So there's that. They do, they did the Tornado and the P2 project. They had a steam engine pulling regular scheduled passenger service. Now that's really something. Now it's not so much the engines that fascinates me, it's what they continue to do with these engines. Something just sounded a little alarm in my brain though, and I'm not sure what it was. I'm not sure why it did. There must be something that I'm forgetting that I feel like I should talk to you guys about regarding British engines, and I can't recall what it was now. This is not the sort of time or the state that I'd like to be in to do any hard thinking intellectual pursuits, things like that. It's almost 2 a.m. and I've lost track of how much time is in the video. We've still got another 40 minutes or so. So, I can sort of shoot the crap all day with this British engine, this British engine. I don't know enough about them. They didn't have much that really grabbed me. I thought the streamlining was kind of lacking on the engines that did get it. I don't think the A4 streamlining is anything to write home about. Some of them had some interesting characteristics, like 3 cylinders, stuff like that. The double tender on Scotsman, etc. But, it was interesting sort of quirks, but at the same time, it's not really anything that made it groundbreaking to me and made it stand out in my mind. I'm trying to think of something that was really, sort of kicked me off to thinking about it, and I don't know, other than the Bigger Boogie Banker, or, the Big Bertha, nothing, I don't know too well. I don't know well enough to make a call on, well, this is my favorite. Although, I'm sure there is something. I'm certain there is something. Probably something off of Loco Locomotives or something like that, that's something I can really sink my teeth into. One of these oddities. A lot of the times my favorite locomotives are the ones that you only hear about a little bit. Or, the ones that there weren't many of. You guys know how much I love the T1s, the Pennsylvania T1s, of course. And that's because they were so special. Aside from their track record of potentially, we'll see, being the fastest locomotives out there, the special streamlining, the duplex drive, all these things that culminated in them being very interesting and very odd locomotives. And that's what you center around. Same thing with like the Q2. Also a duplex, but had some serious oomph behind it. Had some serious power for a duplex. Based on the fact that the T1s weren't really the best in the pulling department, although apparently they had a better tractive effort than the Niagaras. I still don't know how that happened. But, yeah, and then, you into 51. You into 50 and 51. These narrow gauge Malets, which were, massive, had a very interesting history to them as well, as did the railroad that they came from. And were, not one of their kind, but special in the sense that they were the most powerful locomotive, the most powerful narrow gauge locomotive sold in the United States. So, I don't know, it's something that I can look at and go, wow, let me think about that. It's not generic. Which brings me to something else I want to talk about, and this is my own minor rant, I guess. But it's not really a rant so much as, well, let's look at it this way. So, there are a lot of things you can point to that are, the best at something, so far as we know, the A4 is the fastest steam locomotive on the planet. As it stands, maybe. Right now. The most powerful steam locomotive ever static tested, PRR-Q2. Longest reciprocating steam locomotive is the PRR-S1. I know a lot of PRR stuff specifically. I don't necessarily know a lot of stuff, period. But the fact of the matter is, and this is going to increase when the thing comes into operation, and frankly, I can't blame anybody for this. I understand the hype, and I understand that it's, in a lot of ways, it's completely warranted. Oh, this is that, okay. Did I put this? Yeah, I put that down already. No, let's not put this here. I think this area is just fine as is now. And, okay, so what was I saying? The big boy. I understand the hype. I get why people are so excited about getting one back in service, and I get why so many people love them already. Oh, it's like this. It's like the one, maybe we should have a horse racing track somewhere. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I got sidetracked again. I keep thinking about things and getting distracted, and what the hell are these? This is odd. But the big boy, despite being massive, is sort of like a jack-of-all-trades, master of none, where it comes in second in a lot of categories, or it gets close to the top, but just isn't, it isn't able to seal the deal. It isn't quite there. And in my mind, that's sort of where it lives. It's an engine that's received a lot of hype and a lot of love, and in no small way it's totally warranted, but at the same time, it just doesn't do well enough in any one category for me to really fall head over heels for it. Okay, we've got to move on to the next thing that we have to work on, which is this. We've got to go back over here. And don't get me wrong, I'm totally going out to see the thing, Promontory. Because it's going to be the biggest steam locomotive in operation. Who wouldn't want to see that? I don't care if you love or hate UP or, what your favorite engine is. That's something to go see. It'd be like seeing the Mallard in operation. It's like, that thing has the speed record right now. Holy crap, look at it. It's moving. It's going on its own. Obviously Mallard doesn't run right now, but anyways, it probably won't because it's museum bound. It's destined to be a museum piece, thanks almost solely to its fame. I digress. The big boys are sort of, they are. I don't know how to put this, but it seems like they're the kind of engine, or they're, the UP engines in general. They're the engines that people get into really quick off the start of the hobby. It's, oh yeah, the big boy, because it's something you can think about, it's something you can read about quite easily. It's like, these things are massive. They're scattered all around the country. There are 16 of them left, something like that. And at that point, it's completely understandable that people love these engines. But I feel like that's, you love UP, or you love these engines, and eventually you get to the point where you start to develop your own tastes. Not to say that UP isn't a taste that you can develop, because I know people that love the UP anyways, but the thought is, it's sort of the thing that everybody starts on, and then you see a lot of people say, oh yeah, no, they're cool, but I like da 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 da. And, people go in all sorts of directions. When you get deeper into the hobby, people like different things for different reasons. Whether you grew up near it, whether it's just really cool to you. Some people, some Americans, I'm certain, are completely enamored with British steam locomotives to far greater the extent than I could ever hope to be. So, it's not necessarily about just what your home road is geographically. It's about what your home road is mentally. So, that's my mini big boy rant. It's like, it's cool. I don't think necessarily it deserves everything it gets. It will be really cool to see the thing. Don't get me wrong. Now, as for the other engines in the UP's collection, the Challenger, H44, I don't really have much of an opinion on them. They're not the big boy, so they don't garner as much, instant love, I guess. It seems like they don't get people jumping on the big boy bandwagon in the same way. Even though, 844 is a touring engine, it's the only steam engine that's never been retired from, taken off the active roster, blah, 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 blah. That's, I don't know, I know some people are argue to death on whether or not that claim is really valid, but, I mean, technically it is, so, I don't know. I'm not gonna, I really don't have a place to stand with that, because I have not done the research to make a sort of stance on it. As far as I know, it is technically correct, the best kind of correct, but whether or not that actually amounts to anything is sort of beyond me. It's an active steam engine in this day and age. I don't, maybe if I liked UP more, I'd put more stock in the idea that, it's special because it's never been retired. It's just an operating steam engine. It's not like they're hauling freights with it every day. It's not really. It's not part of the everyday freight roster, so as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't really do much. It doesn't really do much. Certainly doesn't come to visit me over here in Little Rhodey. But, and the Challenger apparently is in a sorry state. But here's the thing. I was never, since I didn't, or I haven't been at least for a long time, because I'm sure I did when I was younger, get on the big boy bandwagon. And it may be some other things that influence it, but I was never really a guy from LA's. On the flip side, when I got asked, what's your favorite British engine, I immediately thought, oh, they don't have any LA's. Or do they? I mean, they must, especially on the... Do they have some on the narrow gauge railways? I don't know. But the idea that, oh, well, they don't have any really big power, I don't know what to jump to. So, and thus, the Licky Banker, the Big Bertha, the 010 or whatever it was. Again, it's an odd one, you should look it up. Go to that because it's odd and it's big. So, yeah, there you go. But they didn't have any LA's, but then again, I really never fell head over heels for LA's in the same way that I know a lot of my friends did. A lot of my friends are, love the NW, the big NW engines, the big UP engines. Meanwhile, I'm over here with my duplexes going, it's just sort of the same thing. It's just they don't actually swivel. And derailing on every curve. But meanwhile, getting buttloads of power out of the damn thing. Anyways, that, I don't, the Challenger then, and by extension the Big Boy because of it, are the Big Boy for, I guess, just hype reasons. Never really had that special place in my heart, even though they're operating steam locomotives, and I would love to see the Challenger run. It's not like it's not a point of foam for me. Now, I care a lot more about the sort of mid-size engines. I wanted to grab that on place. I missed. Not even, Northerns. This is probably the Pennsy in me speaking. I kind of think Northern's overrated. Yeah, it's definitely the Pennsy in me speaking. But, this is going to be like I'm going to park like a delivery truck there or something. But like Pacifics are where it's at. I cannot wait to see 3713 running, the Mega Pacific, even though as I have been dutifully informed, it is actually a medium Pacific, technically. It's massive. It's the biggest medium Pacific, I think. There may be bigger Pacifics, I don't know, but it is way out of its depth in terms of Pacific size. It's a Pacific that probably ought to be a Northern, so I don't know why I like it. B&M's close to my home road. B&M's close to home. And the mid-size engine, so that, Blount, of course, he's held a special place in my heart for a long, long time. CN 3713, for those who don't know him as Blount. And, oh, you know what, I should turn that around. And, what else? What else is in that range? There's the other thing, is the, what is it? The Jubilee, I was thinking. Hudson's as well. Even through my inner Pennsy, I've had an affinity for the Central Hudsons, the Dreyfus Hudsons, of course. I even have a builder's line drawing sort of thing of a J3 on the wall over here. I think they're cool engines. They weren't particularly good engines, but I think they're really cool. They could do what they were designed to do. And they were first of their kind, so they had some kinks to be worked out. If anyone can, understand. So, it's middle of the road, and also, okay, I don't really have as much of an affinity of the smaller guys, of the little guys, like 060s, Moguls I like for reasons of that I just have a Mogul. It was the only steam engine that was DCC and sound of the hobby shop when I went to go get my first one, and thus I ended up with Lee B&M 1360 as a model, and so Moguls do hold a special place in my heart due to that. But other than that, I'm not really big on the smaller engines. Americans, 440s, consolidations are okay. 10-wheelers are okay. Don't let my girlfriend watch this episode. I know she has one. Also, don't let Eins Castle watch this episode either. But, whatever. They're okay. I don't, I think Moguls are cool. I think 10-wheelers are okay. I think Americans are okay. I think, consolidations are okay. You guys get the theme here. I don't really dislike too many engines. I think prairies are exceptionally bad. A prairie is like you could have done 100 things with it, and instead you added a trailing truck and leading truck, call it a new engine. Which, is really what it is, but it's like you could have been a consolidation, but you don't have enough power. That's what I get out of a prairie. Probably rides better though. That's the advantage. Tracking in both directions. There's also the okay, here's more weirdos. The double enders. The B&A had not 2 6.6s, 4 6.6s that looked sort of like New York Central Hudson's, just condensed down, made smaller, turned into tank engines, and were used in suburban commuter service for a long time. Or, well, not a long time, because they were fairly late in the scene. They were used in suburban commuter service for a little while. The B&M Moguls were the ones that were used for a long time. The last steam train on the B&M was I think aside from a couple of instances due to flooding, the last initially scheduled steam train on the B&M was a commuter run powered by a Mogul. Yeah, all this grass, man. All of it. That's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the time here, isn't it? And talking about engine classes. I almost neglected the prairie. Because you gotta dislike something, right? No, you really don't. I don't know why I dislike prairies, and, even, Rangeley's a prairie, so who am I to even say? I was the one who came up with the character anyway, so they're fine. They're, And then, what else? Like, 040s, not cute, but ultimately weak. 080s, cool. Maybe my favorite shunters, just because of their sort of stature. They're these big, stocky engines that overhang and whatever. Not to mention we've got a nice model of one here in train, so maybe I'm partial to that. What else? Yeah. So, and then the other one. So, going the other direction. I don't dislike openly, but I don't get so much mountain types. So, 482s. You were gonna make a Northern, but you didn't go for the big firebox. Or, you were building a Berkshire and you put the trucks on the wrong way around. Now, that said, I love Berkshires. I feel like they are, obviously Northerns were good engines. They were really good engines. A lot of railroads used them, except for a couple major ones. And they were very, very well used all-purpose engines. You could put them on the head of anything and they'd pull it, pretty much. And they'd do well with it. They could do passenger, they could do freight. Hence why some railroads use them as general service engines. But Berkshires, which came around before that, were here's your solution to I can't climb a hill. Because before that, you deal with drag freights, Mikados, where they might not even be free steaming, you have the throttle all the way open, you're losing pressure no matter what you do in the firebox, and eventually you get to a point where you have to stop and rebuild steam. When the Berkshire came around, that sort of changed the whole paradigm, which is, you know, you can haul freight flat out, throttle all the way open all the time, and not worry about steam because you have a giant firebox. And additionally, some technological advancements in there, but the Boston and Albany had the first Berkshire, and that was A1 or 1400, depending on the point in time, because I believe A1 was renumbered. A1 was the Lima classification for the project. Lima's superpower. I'm sure people that are familiar with locomotives have heard that phrase before. And that, I think, even though I'm not really a fan of Lima the Builder as much, I don't dislike them, that is how you build a locomotive. It did well. It did what was asked of it. Now, the question is, now this is just a question for myself that I should go look up. Who built the New Haven I-5s? Was that Baldwin? Was that Alco? Was that Lima? Who did the majority of Hudson building? That's what I'm thinking about right now. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Alco, because there was I won't say a major Alco works, but it was there. The Rhode Island Locomotive Works became part of the American Locomotive Company and continued pumping out locomotives for a while. Although mostly small stuff due to the fact that you have to fit the engines that come out of the exit of the shop in the state of Rhode Island. So, obviously they were fairly limited. But they did build, and they built a lot for the New Haven, among other railroads, but the New Haven being right on their doorstep, and also being literally the only ones on their doorstep. There was nobody else here. Everybody was owned by the New Haven. Most of the contracts went to them, and most of the contracts came from them, and most of the engines went to them. I have been inside the buildings. They are converted. They're like a shopping center or something now. I think I had food inside one of them. Speaking of which, I need to go get food. I'm done with this. This is coming along, though. Oh, I'm supposed to adjust these. Unfortunately, this one cannot get any better. This one can, though. It's pull it until it won't let you pull it anymore. Until the thing turns red, because you can't do that. I'm just trying to make these a little bit longer because it was brought to my attention that the switch points were really tight. And looking at them, yeah, they kind of are. That's better, not great, especially this one, but better. It's not terrible. It's patchy grass. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this all the way up to here, and then put a fence around it. Because where are you going to park the trucks, other than right here? Somewhere else. I was thinking that I should make a transload warehouse as well, not like this where you're moving the trailers, but something more like this where you can pull up boxcars. That said, there's not really much room over here, and I should probably do that somewhere else if I'm going to do that. Oh, you know what? I do need the dirt again. Oh, I mussed it up. Oh well. Alright, right there, right there. This is just a random sort of ranting thing. Is anybody annoyed at business hours? Like, I feel like no matter what I try to do, I'm always impeded by the fact that most places are open, like, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and that's it. Like, those are the times where you have things to do, especially if you already have a job. How am I supposed to go to the bank? Or, go get something done at a government agency or something like that? How? Like, it's difficult. It's needlessly difficult. It's like I have to leave early or something like that. in order to go do that. Alright, let's put a big chain link fence around this. Although there is the distinct possibility, like a 50-50 shot at this point, that I'll be working for a government agency over the summer. That would be the Department of Transportation before anybody gets any special ideas. So I'm currently going back and forth between internship with RIDOT or internship with, and this is actually one for the farmers out there. So me and everybody watching this, you can admit it. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me move this over. So this building's relatively new. There we go. That should really be it. That's as good as it's going to get in terms of putting a fence around the property. Oh, you know what? That's not straight in the slightest. So let's move this over here. Move this over here. That is better. We will have to populate this area though, and also actually build the multiple industries. That's going to be something else, because I don't know how to do multiple industries like that. Yeah, this should be woods. And then this should be woods. So I think this area is quote-unquote done. Although we do need to put some cars. Oh, game. Oh, I can see things I should not be able to see underneath here. Now let's just make it like this dark pretense foundation. Yeah, so that's going to be that. I do need to lay down sort of the texture underneath this. That's important. The more I do things, though, the more Tane hates me. This area, especially with all the splines, it's gonna get real old real fast. They're gonna start disliking it. Or Tane's gonna start disliking it. Tane already does dislike it. I look at it drop frames. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's like mostly spline points that's doing it, which I wouldn't doubt in no small amount. If I go into driver, I bet things would be a little bit better. Yeah, and then we'll bookend this, and this area will be D-O-N-E done, or D-U-N done. Although I do need to fix or finish the grass off here. This needs grass. I like grass. So let's put this here. And we've got another spot, so this grass is going to go around this way. And we've got another spot to use these splines. Again, grass, it makes everything better. And I mean that as in the stuff you put on the ground, not the stuff you roll up and smoke. I won't say that I have a based opinion on whether grass makes everything better or not. That kind of grass. But I'm sure you can ask my friend, D-O-double-G. It's okay, he's everyone's friend. Let's throw down one of these big broadleaves here. Just why not? Why not? Let's get a big one. Put it right there. That's not a big one. That was pitiful. Okay, are only the first two big? Only the first one? Come on, give me something. Give me something to write home about. Where's that giant tree? Yeah, that one. I don't want that one. I want this one. Red oak. Sure, why not? It's the only tree that survived in this area. Alright, we need some cars. Let me grab the strips of cars from over here. Park 1950s cars. No, I don't want to do that. Let's put it like here. There we go. No. What if I just grab the car? No. There we go. Alright, what, I need to get more of these. Okay, so these are the short ones. The 1A, 2A. Okay, there's an empty spot there. I do kind of want more, you know, out here. But let me sort of add them sparingly. And maybe I should add, you know, a couple. Maybe I should add some nice large gaps and fill them in individual cars. Turn that like that. The fact that these exist, though, is super nice. Oops. No, I want to move that one. Just these strings of cars. I mean, I could randomize them more. If I really wanted to. Like, obviously these are the same as those. But I don't expect them to be noticed that much. Oh, that one. That one is identical. What is this one? That's Cars 2. This one's Cars 4. So that means we could do a Cars 1 over here. That's fine. That's not really a market, though. I wanted this to be like a market. So this is like the goods warehouse that we were thinking of. Yeah, so I placed all these cars for nothing, because they should be in the lot here. Either way, I'm going to leave them because it looks good. Honestly, I think it looks good. More places need cars. I need more trailers like this, though. Trailer Fruhauf. So I need to, like, put them all at an angle here. And then just put, you know, a giant row of trailers here, and that'll do it. That'll do it. They just need to be like older style, like these guys. As long as they have that that curved end on them, they should be fine. Oh, I should only be using the parked versions though, because without that, they're sort of hovering. I think Mason had a trick to do like semi-parking spots. I feel like that's something I should be doing. But this will be an endeavor to create a butt ton of these and then get some semi-tractors in here. Yeah, and then the multiple industries are going to be something, you know, something else. I've got to name all these switch stands as well. That's on the docket. But we're getting closer and closer to being done. Not that it's really within sight. or not that it's really within reach, but at least it's in sight. You know, we just need to fill in these areas, and we know what's in most of them. You know, we kind of have an idea. We have a sort of rhythm with the placing the houses, the building the yards, and placing the little fiddly bits, this, that, and the other. You know, I feel like we did a block, and we created a new couple of blocks full of houses. So shouldn't be rocket surgery to go through these handful of blocks that are left, and the seaside ones are really... The seaside ones aren't going to be like the ones backed up against the highway. So I really only have to worry about these, this, you know, and we're going to have, like, beach houses. Obviously, this is going to be normal. But these guys are probably not going to be normal. Especially not this one. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week. Trainman out.